everyone. The purpose of this video today is to go through the How to Write a Family History Book template, and I will show you how to handle, or how at least I have handled, pictures, because that's one of the really cool things that you can now do with self-publishing. So I'm going to go down to a page here. Let's see, it's page 6 in the lowercase Roman numerals, and I have a list of pictures. And basically what I've done here is I've already inserted it, but if you were to do this yourself, the way that you would do it is you would go over to the References tab and you would insert a table of figures, which is what I'm pointing to right here with my cursor. And when you do that, it's going to insert something that will say basically there are no figures in your document or something like that. It's going to be fairly nondescript because if you're starting from scratch, there won't be any pictures in your file. Now, in my template, there are a couple of pictures and they are shown here, and I will take care of those in a moment. But basically, we'll enter that, and you have to actually start inserting pictures in order for this to start working. Allow me to go to where my pictures are. Okay, so here are my couple of pictures just to show you an example. All right, so here I have number 1, which is, you know, this happens to be my 2 times great-grandfather. So I'm going to highlight this, take that information out, and I'm going to put in here Elijah Wilson Harper, because that's who this is. So now that I've typed that, I'm going to go back up to where my list of pictures are, right here, and I'm going to use my cursor and I'm going to right click with my mouse on this list of pictures, and it will ask me, I have all kinds of different things I can do, but I want to update the field. Okay, so I'm just going to update the entire table. Okay, so now what that did is now I had changed the name of that picture and I have Elijah Wilson Harper there, and that's exactly what I typed underneath his picture. Okay, so let's go back down to where those pictures are. Okay, so I also need to name this one. You can just backspace all that out or highlight it and erase it, however you want to do that. But this is Mary Jane Rutan. That's who she is. Go back up here to my list of pictures. I'm going to right click it again and update it. Update the entire table. Okay, so now I have Mary Jane's name there. Okay, so that's all wonderful and great. Now what do you do if you want to add a picture? Okay, so let's assume that we've got information here for Elijah, we have information here for Mary Jane. I want to insert another picture of Mary Jane Rutan. So I'm going to go to the Insert Pictures, and I'm going to type Mary Jane, and there's another picture of Mary Jane right there. Mary Jane Rutan Harper. So I'm going to insert that picture. That's pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go home on the Home tab, and I'm going to center that picture on the page. All right. Now I put my cursor next to the picture and pressed the Enter key so that I can put a title for this picture underneath it. With the insert caption, basically how this defaults is it will say you have a figure and a number, etc., but I'm going to exclude that. And so as you can see, I now have a 3 there because I have picture number 1, picture number 2, and now I have picture number 3. And this is Mary Jane Rutan and her son. All right, I could put the name there, I could put all kinds of things there. It doesn't really matter how you want to label them. You can do them any way you like. Now this does a left justification, and I want to go back home and I want to center that. Okay, so if I go back up to my picture list and I right click on it, update field, update the entire table, now I have a 3rd picture of Mary Jane and her son. All right, now the other thing too, when you have a list of pictures, when you set this up initially, you will have, again, that thing that is very innocuous. It really doesn't say anything, because until you have pictures to actually include in your document, you can't update it, okay? But at least it's in the spot where you want to have it in the book itself, okay? And that's why I'm giving you a template, because this, I think, is a little bit easier to utilize, because you have the ability to be able to use what I use. And if you ever want to take these pictures out, which you will, because these are not your family, you can just delete these out, or delete this picture, add somebody else, change the name. That's perfectly fine. And then you just go back and you do the update here, which is what we've been doing all along. Now, the one thing that you have to do is you have to add a header, because this, when you first insert it, doesn't say list of pictures. You actually have to type that in yourself. But if you're using my template, you won't have to worry about that. And I give you a starter list of pictures. But you can go down here, and as you're working on whoever this person is, then you can take those pictures out, insert something different, and just change the title. Now, the other thing to note about pictures, at least if you use CreateSpace, and that's what I will eventually be teaching you how to use, you have to have a certain dots per inch in your photographs. And later on, I will show you how to do that, at least through the software that I have. There's probably other ways of doing it. You could probably Google different ways of doing that. But every picture that I've saved, I want to make sure that they are saved at 300 dots per inch or higher, because otherwise you'll run into printing problems with CreateSpace if you don't do that. So that's just a note to be looking for on a future video. So again, what I've showed you today is basically how to insert a list of figures, basically, but we are going to call it a list of pictures. And with this template, at least you have a few pictures in there. You can remove those, add your own, change the titles, and I've showed you how to insert new photographs. And the great thing about this is that now we have the ability to be able to put pictures throughout our family history book. It used to be that it would increase costs a lot if you wanted to try and do that in a book. But now we don't have to worry about that, which is great. So when my family first published photos years ago in a family history book, they had to put all the pictures at the end so that it would keep the cost down. But it still cost them something like $60 a book to publish them, which was crazy. Now with the ability to be able to do this ourselves, the cost of this has gone down dramatically. And so anyway, I hope that helps you to see how you can use pictures in your family history books. And if you have questions, please leave them below and I'll be happy to help you. And I look forward to talking to you on a future video. Thanks.